Hello and welcome to the weekly Kashmir University Video Digest Quest. First, a look at the highlights. Vice Chancellor delivers extension lecture on Himalayas and monsoons. Dean Research Office organizes interaction. And interview with Dean Research. Now the details of these events with your host Umar Malik. The Human Resource Development Center organized an extension lecture on Rise of Himalayas and Monsoons. Vice Chancellor Kashmir University Professor Talat Ahmed delivered the extension lecture. In his lecture, Professor Talat said that people living in the Kashmir Valley have to be ready for earthquakes and need to prepare methods to mitigate earthquakes.
So, the more the red and the thicker these zones, they are all earthquake prone areas, and it has been recording earthquake. Okay, so we are here in Kashmir, we will be here, so you can expect earthquake, and don't think that it is only if we will do Gunah we will be have earthquake will be there. So do good or do bad, earthquake will come. So one has to prepare ourselves, how to mitigate and how to reduce the effect of earthquake.
The Vice Chancellor said that there is a difference between oceanic and continental crust, and it is a result of these that earthquakes occur.
So if you see the Himalayas, even in Kashmir, you have the Pir Panjals. Actually the rocks are more volcanic rocks which has come from deeper portion of the earth. And you have seen all these are, earlier it used to be volcanoes. And then with time, part of these, they get eroded and get subducted in local basins to form sedimentary rocks. So you have this Karevas, for example. So, so there is a big difference between the oceanic and the continental crust. And particularly these areas where it is subducting and these areas where these are generating magma, these will be always earthquake prone areas.
Earlier, welcoming the Vice Chancellor, Director HRDC Professor Gul Mohammad Wani said that the 2014 floods and 2005 earthquake has raised consciousness among the people in Kashmir toward the disaster management.
That we also need to, in fact, apprise the Honorable Vice Chancellor about a couple of things that we have actually discussed so far, and which are, of course, very important, is that this is a type of an area in academia, higher education academia, which is virtually now becoming a household type of a thing as far as disaster management is concerned, partly because of our local situation in Kashmir where we are placed, and partly because of the fact that since 2014 floods and earlier 2005 major earthquake in the other part of Kashmir and even this part of Kashmir also, what is happening is that disaster management as a subject, as a discipline, and as what you call as something that it has come in a very sharp way under focus in Kashmir. And naturally there's a growing consciousness both at the university and college level that our new generation academia should in fact inhale it and also introduce it as a subject. It is already there in university and in colleges, in schools, so that not only academically, but even otherwise also, at the level of general society, we are better equipped to face these challenges in the future.
Associate Professor at Department of Geography and Regional Development, Dr. Shamim Ahmed Shah presented brief of the resource persons who interacted with the participants.
We had resource persons from diverse fields, from whether we had Sanam Lotus, Director in the Meteorological Department. We had Professor Ramshu delivering a lecture on this. And we had some resource person from the NIT working on the structural engineering and other aspects as such. So I hope that still we have a long way to go, around more than 1.5 weeks time. And we are in the process of getting some experts in one particular case, your directions, particularly some resource persons from Delhi, Hayat Saab and some from Aligarh.
The Office of the Dean Research organized a video conference on Fulbright and Fulbright Nehru Fellowship opportunities in the US. The virtual outreach program was designed to provide information on Fulbright Nehru, Fulbright Kalam Fellowship opportunities for study, research, teaching, etc. in the US. Dean Research Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi chaired the conference. Registrar Dr. Nisar Ahmed Mir also attended it. During the conference, a team of 2 representatives from United States India Educational Foundation were on video call from New Delhi. They discussed various courses and programs offered under the Fulbright Scholarship and discussed prerequisites for the applicants. The conference was organized in the backdrop of USIF announcement of annual competition for Fulbright Fellowships for Indian citizens for the academic year 2020-2021. The representatives explained application procedure for various master's, doctoral and postdoctoral programs under Fulbright Nehru, Fulbright Kalam, Herbert H. Humphrey Fellowship programs. The Quest team talked to the Dean Research Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi with regard to this fellowship program.
There are 12 fellowships under 3 broad heads. One's called as Fulbright Nehru Fellowship. And under this, you have 5 fellowships. And these fellowships are for doctoral students, for postdoctoral students, for teachers, right? For even administrators also. Then you have 2 more under Fulbright Kalam Climate Fellowship. This is a very recent fellowship, wherein a student who has some idea about, novel idea about the study of climate change, which is particularly relevant in our setting as well, he also can be selected, he also can apply, and then in case he gets selected, he would be working in the world's premier institution in US, and then we will be benefiting. Then in addition to this, there are other category of Fulbright fellowships. Under this, you have around 5 fellowships. In all, you have 12 fellowships offered this time for session. This is for students who are just masters and who want to pursue a PhD program there. It's for them. There are fellowships for doctoral students to pursue postdoctoral research. This is possible. There are fellowships for teachers also to take a small teaching assignment there. This is also possible. And over and above this, there are fellowships for administrators as well.
We asked him that you have been consistently trying to get more Kashmiris, not just in research but in quality research. How does USIF help in it?
Now, our idea was to organize a sort of an awareness program which was held on 7th of February here in University of Kashmir, wherein a digital video conference was organized. There were people from USIEF who made a detailed presentation about the way that students have to apply, what are the requirements, what are the eligibility criteria. The aim is to acquaint students of University of Kashmir and Kashmir as a whole with the fellowships that are available to them. These are competitive fellowships, but we are very sure that our students are very bright, our teachers are also very bright, our administrators are also very bright, they will make it. And they will learn actually as to what other institutions do in terms of research, in terms of administration, in terms of teaching. And those learnings they can get back to University of Kashmir, and in this process we will be improving a lot, or we will be taking leap forward, isn't it, in our progression towards excellence in research, extension as well as in teaching.
When asked how many students from the University of Kashmir are hopeful will be able to get USIF fellowships, to which he said,
name any discipline, you will be having a fellowship. Grant is good. Only thing is that I would advise students, teachers and then the research scholars to kindly log into the website of the USIEF. There is a brochure also there now, and then you can download that brochure, look at the different fellowships that are available, select the one which you think is where you can very successfully compete, apply. Look at the application form also, because incomplete application form would meet rejection, and there is not going to be any notification for that. You shall have to say fulfill all this. That there would not be nothing like this. And incidentally, that there is an old saying, once a Fulbrighter, always a Fulbrighter. Then it becomes a sort of a family of Fulbrighters. And incidentally, may I inform you that we have a faculty member, Dr. Adil, from food technology. He is a Fulbright scholar this time. He was supposed to join the host institution in US in March, It's a good thing. I mean, earlier also you had people, even your director, Shahid Saab also is a Fulbright scholar. And our aim is that we want to say, aware people of these fellowships, take advantage, and then go to US, learn basically the best in their field, and come back and then contribute to the progression of this society. This is our somehow broad the objective of organizing such type.
Professor Rishi said that this kind of interaction helps students preparing for the fellowships.
Meetings. And when we requested the USIEF people that is it possible for you to come over physically to University of Kashmir? We will host you here so that you are going to create we will organize a large scale event wherein lot many students, teachers, everybody would participate, so that this part of the world also gets to know about these scholarships, and then the people here also benefit from these fellowships.
Dean Research said that our researchers are able to compete with outside scholars as well.
That our master's programs are not tuned to problem solving, which is one of the major actually issues. I mean, contemporary master's programs are problem solving programs. Now, so for example, you are doing a master's in, say, for example, environmental sciences. You have a problem in Dal Lake, an environmental issue in Dal Lake, you should be able to solve it. Applying that knowledge which you have gained in master's program, you should be. But such type of, say, there is a sort of a disconnect, isn't it, between what we teach in the classrooms and the problems that we have, the problems that stare us in our eyes. Now, my take is that we need to discuss research on a more regular basis. It need not to be discussed just at the time of boards of research studies. It has to be a 24/7 job. Ideas are coming to your mind, you are refining them, and you are ultimately identifying a problem which makes sense. I mean, you should be able to convince me or convince anybody as to why I am doing this type of work. What is going to be the outcome of this work? How this work is going to be an addition to the already existing knowledge? How my approach is different than the approaches that already have been followed? What would be the benefit, long-term benefit of this work, right? I mean, we are ready to accept even crazy ideas. Recently, somebody worked on dark energy. It is an area where devils also there. Anyway. But we said that if the student is, he wants to pursue this work, welcome, doesn't matter. Even we are, say, open to a change of topic, making a mid-course change also. Why? Because we are of this opinion that teacher as well as a student, they grow in with work. Somehow, you cannot compare, say, our situation with US, isn't it? Because they started long back, we are also not that far. Only thing is that we need to tell our students that be confident, you can do it, and they will do it.
The quest team asked him about the gap that hampers the growth of our researchers, to which he said this.
One of the bottlenecks which we need to overcome is that we do not ask great questions. Asking a good research question is the fundamental, isn't it? Setup to good quality research. Now, if you are asking, now I put it like this, many people would tell you that we don't have funds, we don't have instrumentation, we don't have grants, we don't have these facilities, we don't have that facility. My take is that even if you provide a person everything under the sun, and the idea is not good, he is not going to come up with something very great. And I must tell you that in this institution, there are people, despite difficulties, so-called difficulties, this, that, they do work as good as somebody does in Europe. You have all Kashmiri authors' papers getting published now in world's premier journals. We have a long way to go. The critical mass of people who do good work, quality work in University of Kashmir, unfortunately, is less. There are reasons. Issue is this, that we have good quality people. Somehow we have to actually push them slightly so that they get grants, they have students who are working enthusiastically and then take up those problems which make sense. What they had conceived in the beginning, they may not ultimately end up with that. And in the course, they may learn many new things. And we should provide, say, statutory flexibility to allow a student to incorporate all those changes in his or her work, which he or she learns over a period of time. It should not be something, once it has been decided, it cannot be changed, nothing like that. Third is that we are of this opinion that we should be sending our students, particularly master's students, to good institutions. We can set aside a small fund for this also. I mean, within the Office of Dean Research as well, it can be done. But our problem is that how to select students, because there would be a matter, I mean, many people would be applying, how to do it, who will do it, which topic is good, because spending some amount of time in premier institutions like Harvard, Cambridge, and Oxford could make a real difference to a student. I mean, they could feel that those people who are getting Nobel Prizes, they are as good as us. They are also human beings and we are also human beings. And then that confidence, isn't it, that is something which is very essential in research.
Professor Rishi said that more fellowship programs are coming this year and students should look in getting these fellowships.
Soren Jayanti Fellowship, it is considered to be one of the best. Now, issue is this, that if people from our institution do not apply, if the number of applicants from our institution is less, that probability of, say, somebody getting these fellowship also diminishes. If nobody applies, then nobody will be getting it. Likewise, we are trying our level best to see to it that we provide, say, space, right, lab space, equipment to Ramalinga Swami and Ramanujam Fellows. I mean, there has been now a committee under the chairmanship of Honorable Vice Chancellor. There are many people who are approaching us for say, space. In departments, there were certain constraints. The new lab block is coming up. And as such, the proposal as on date is that over a period of 5 years, in a staggered manner, we will be attracting 25 Ramalinga and Ramanujam Fellows. Now, Ramalinga Swami or a Ramanujam Fellow has to have a PhD, should be a postdoc for 3 years in a country other than India, must have quality publication because it's a national level competition. And the aim of the funding agency is re-entry. I mean, get these bright young boys and girls who are working in US, Europe and other places back to different institutions in India.
That's all for today's episode. Log on to our website emmrckashmir.com, where you can check the latest episode of The Quest. You can also watch it on our YouTube channel, that is KU Television. Do send us your valuable suggestions at our email address, that is quest@emmrckashmir.com. Before I take your leave, here are a few words of wisdom. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education.